Unpacking Law with Tumelo Machaba.
Okay, hi Kimberly. I'm doing my LLB. I'm studying towards my LLB at the University of Limpopo. This is my fourth year this year, and I'm in the 5-year program. So my final year will be next year.
Oh, great. Congrats for coming this far.
Thank you.
So are all law degrees 5 years long?
No, they're not. You can choose to do the 4-year program or you can do the 5-year program. Most universities do offer the 5-year program too. At the University of Limpopo, you can either do the 4-year program or the 5-year program. So it's honestly up to you.
Oh, it's all up to you. Right, that's great. Eh? But what are the advantages of doing LLB?
Well, the advantage is that LLB is like you studying all fields of law. That's basically what happens during the 4 years or 5 years, right? Sorry. During the 5 years, you are literally being taught all fields of law, not just one field of law. So that's the advantage. You get to be exposed, you get to learn what different laws entail and so forth. So that's the advantage of doing LLB. There, however, different routes to actually being a lawyer. You could do your BA law, which is 3 years, or you could do your BCom law, which is 3 years. And then later on, should you decide that you want to do your LLB, then it will only take you 2 years. So you will have the BCom or the BA law degree, and then you'll do 2 years of your LLB. Then you'd be regarded as having a law degree.
Oh, okay, makes sense. That's really an advantage. Eh? So what type of jobs can you do with the LLB degree?
Really, there's a broad spectrum of what you can do as a with your law degree. You can choose to from being a legal advisor to different institutions, to being a paralegal, to being an advocate, to being an attorney, to being a court clerk. So there's different avenues to being an academic. There are people who don't want to practice, but rather they choose in research, and so such people will go on to do their masters after their degree, and they also go on to do their PhD. And such people would be lecturers and so forth. So such a person would be an academic in law, and they pursue that. So there's different routes that you can take. You don't have to be in court. It's not cast in stone. So you definitely can choose what route. It all depends on people. So any route you decide after that would be great.
Oh, okay. And then when it comes to subject choices in high school, are there any subjects that are recommended for people that want to study law after high school?
Yes, definitely. English. You need English to be a lawyer. That's like the main requirement. You need to at least have 60 and above. I think at most universities it is 60 and above for English. That's the basic minimum requirement. Even though I would definitely always recommend a student in high school to strive for a higher mark. So I think 60 is your level 5 in English. So really try to get that. However, like I say, there are smarter students and there's competition. So try to get above that. Try to get to 70 and above for English. And then with your other subjects, if you choose to do your sciences, that's fine. They're not a requirement. Even if you did your history, your accounting, you would still be able to apply for law. They just need your 50 and above for that. And I think maths is also pretty low. I think for maths, you need 40. It's not really a major requirement. The basic requirement is your English. And the most important is your APS score. So that is why I'm saying don't stick to the minimum requirements of saying you just need a 60, you just need a 50, because the APS score is 30. So if APS score is 30, then you need to make sure in all your other subjects, your math, if you did sciences, your physics, if you did accounting, that you have high marks so that your APS score can count up to your 30. But I do know, I think UJ, the requirements for law is 29, APS score is 29 and 28. But as I'm saying, I don't think they take a 28 APS score as their first choice. So
So much
try to
competition.
really get, there's so much competition, especially now. Students are really smart. So try to get a lot of marks to secure your space. So that's the minimum requirements, 30 APS score in most universities. UP, I think it's 32. So you see what I'm talking about? Even if you're gonna apply, you're gonna apply to different places. You're not just gonna apply to UJ because it's 29. You're gonna wanna apply to different, because what if they don't take you at UJ? At Limpopo, at University of Limpopo, the APS score is 30. You need to apply for that, to strive for that. You for the 5-year program, the APS score is 28. However, you're not going to go in with a 28. Usually what they do also for students who do not get space for the 4-year program, which is 30 APS score, they'll take them to the 5-year program.
Okay, thank you. That was so informative. Hey, so students, learners that are listening, make sure that you aim higher, not to aim for the minimum requirements. So, okay, how about you? Did you always know that you wanted to do law, or was it something that just came up after high school and you're like, huh, maybe I can do law? Did you always know you wanted to do law?
Okay, my love for law actually, okay, let me just start like this. I was really confused as a high school student, right? In the beginning of my high school, I went from wanting to be a fashion designer to like that. I had a phase in my life where I actually wanted to be a fashion designer. And then I think around grade 11, I really, really loved law, so I've really always wanted to do law in high school. It's not something I decided after matric, so when it was time to actually do applications, and you're browsing through the prospectus and you're browsing through different careers, because grade 11 now at school, they tell you from the beginning of the year, this is the year that you're going to apply in university. You need to get good marks. You need to, and then in the beginning of the year, I had to look, now what do I really want, so that I can work towards that even in my marks during grade 11, because you need your grade 11 June marks to apply for university. And when I saw it, I was like, you know what, I really want to do law. And then I had to keep that in mind, So I've always really wanted to do law. Why? Is because I really realized that law is not accessible to the average person. You understand? The average person does not know the law, People are still not aware of their rights. People are still not aware of how the law can help them in their everyday life. People don't know that if somebody owes you, you can get your money back the legal way. You don't need to go smash their car and, go scream your lungs out. You can use the law to get back your money. That's like a very typical hypothetical situation. But I'm just trying to show you that the law can help you in the most easiest situations to the most complex, But that's why I wanted to study law. Average people do not know their rights, and they do not know how they can get legal help, affordable, accessible legal help. People are not aware of legal aid. People are not aware that, you can still be represented by the state even if you don't have money. People don't realize that they have rights. So that's why I wanted to study law, to be able to help the average person know their rights, stand for their rights, fight for their rights. So that's why I studied law, to help the most average person. So that's when I knew that I need to start working towards that. My parents were not really happy with me wanting to do law because, of the stigma. Lawyers are liars. But, if you really do your research, you realize that there are different fields in law. You don't have to be a criminal lawyer where you represent criminals and whatnot. There are different things that you can do in law. So I've just always known I wanted to do law since then, since high school. I talk too much.
You do. All right. So you see, your parents had this stigma of lawyers are liars. Are lawyers liars?
They're not, Kimberly.
Okay.
It depends how you look at it. I think there's another person who would probably argue with me on this one, but it's my opinion. And entitled to my opinion. And my opinion is that lawyers are not liars. Lawyers just want you to prove your side of the story. And obviously, we do that by arguing, as a person would say. So in the process, people would think, but Tumi is lying. But my defense is, for you to want me to believe what you're saying, you're supposed to be able to prove it to me. And in the midst of that, I will definitely put up my defense to make sure that what you're saying is not believed. You know, a reasonable person would not believe what you're saying, you know. So that's that. I don't think lawyers are lying. They just want you to be able to prove your side of the story beyond reasonable doubt or beyond probability. So for me, it's that. We're basically just arguing. We're not lying.
Okay, all right. So, employability. Would you get a job? Are we in need of lawyers here in South Africa?
The law career is very saturated. I do feel if you want to do law, you shouldn't be stopped by the fact that there are a lot of law graduates. That shouldn't stop you. The reason is, what is this? Not all law graduates are gonna be great lawyers. Even our lecturers say that. They don't hide that. You understand what I'm saying? Not all law graduates are going to be criminal lawyers. Not all law graduates are going to be in corporate. There is something for you in the law spectrum, if I can put it that way. So, in terms of employability, it is a bit tough, you know, to be able to get a job and all of that. But that is why, even in your law career, they tell you need to get great marks, because the same way there's competition to get into university, this same way there will be competition after your law degree. There are students who are doing really, really well. You need to pass. You need to get distinctions. In law, when we're saying you're passing, you are getting distinctions. Not even a compromise. You are supposed to get distinctions in your law degree. In the process of all these years, your first to your fifth, or your first to your fourth year, make sure you get really high marks, your 75 and above. So for me, even from first year, I've been trying to maintain that throughout and throughout. That's when you can really say your chances of employability, you being employable, will be high.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense. So the better your marks are, the higher you stand a chance to get employed after uni.
Yes.
All
Yes.
right.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Dumi, for taking your time and, sharing with us all this.
Thank you, Kimberly, for this opportunity to speak.